I am back with another review video, guys. And if you're a big collector like I am, if you have a nice collection of RC cars, airplanes, boats, helicopters, quadcopters, etc., I'm sure you had this question inside your brain. What would you do if you wanted to drive an RC car? Here's a old RC car I have laying around somewhere. And here's my Holy Stone X400 quadcopter. But what would you do if you wanted to operate these things at the same time? I don't think so. That'll be kind of silly. I don't think that will even work anyway. But today, someone has finally answered that question. And I'm sure a lot of you have already heard of this already, because it's been out for a while. But lo and behold, the Syma X9 Flycar. An RC car and quadcopter built in one. Let's get on and go with the review. Alright guys, here it is. The Syma X9 Flycar. Or flying car. But Flycar, I guess, is the short term for it. But anyway, here it is. It is, as I said, a built-in, all-in-one quadcopter and RC car built into one machine. This is probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. And it kind of reminds me of the Storm Launcher in a way, because that's supposed to be an all-in-one vehicle. But this one actually has steering and rear-wheel driving capabilities, just like a standard RC car would have on the bottom here. The rear wheels here have a motor so that it can drive, and on the front here is a servo that operates the front wheels so you can turn left and right. And it also has suspension so you could go on some pretty rough terrain. As you see, it does have some bounce to it. And as well as it could conquer the air. As you can see, has the standard look of a quadcopter too, with a very unique design. The design kind of reminds me of that old cartoon TV show, Speed Racer. I didn't really watch it that much, but it does kind of remind me of it, the way it looks like the Mach 5. It does come in several different paint colors and decal designs. I really like this one because it reminds me of the Blue Angels, because I really like the paint job on their fighter jets. So this is what it kind of reminds me of. This looks like something that the Blue Angels would demonstrate in one of their air shows. So there we go. There's a quick brief on the quadcopter. And here's a few things that come in the box. It comes with a 600 milliamp hour battery. It's a pretty big 600 milliamp hour battery. It's still a one cell, but it's pretty beefy for its kind of battery work. Here's your spare rotor blades, obviously. Here's the instruction manual underneath. And here's the classic Syma design transmitter. Have your throttle stick here with your yaw. Then here's your pitch controls. And here's the trim switches, obviously. This is a newer, of course, a newer model transmitter for the newer quadcopters such as this. So you can use like the Syma X5C-1 or the X5SW on this transmitter as well, if you don't have a transmitter for those or you broke one for some reason. So that's a pretty cool thing. And then over here is your rate button for low and high rates. And then right here, of course, is your flip button. So if you input whatever direction you want to go for flip. You go this, and then it'll do whatever flip that you desire. And then here's the pointless decoration buttons on this transmitter. And you're probably asking, how do you drive on the ground? Well, if you do not touch the throttle stick and just use the right stick, this will control your car movements on the ground, forward and backward, and then you're turning left and right. So it's pretty cool that you can drive with just the right stick. You don't have to use a special like switch or function for that. So that's a pretty unique feature. And then of course here's the fancy little box that it came in. Not too bad though. I got this on Amazon for about $50. I got this cooler looking one because it looks more distinguishable with the flashy Blue Angels paint job on it. On the side of the box here, it shows all the other colors that I just mentioned: black, red, and white. There's also another blue version. There's a lime green version, and there's also a few other variants out there. I got this one that came with an extra battery as well that's already installed in the quadcopter here. And there's a little latch here to open up the battery bay here. Just twist it. And then it opens. And then there's your second battery. But only certain ones have a second battery included, so it's always nice to spend a couple extra bucks for getting a spare battery. So, included with your whole package. But I also ordered a third battery, and I have that as well, so got 3 times the flight time. So that's a cool thing, especially since the flight time is around 5 to 6 minutes, and the charging time is an hour and 20 or so minutes. But if you drive, it's about 10 to 15 minutes of drive time. And if you kind of space those out a little bit, you can get some pretty decent run time on this thing. So that's a pretty cool feature that you can kind of stretch out your battery time between the driving and flying functions. So that is that. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the driving here real quick. Alright, we're going to turn this machine on now. There's an on and off switch is next to the battery bay here. Let's turn it on. And then, as you can see, it has white lights in the front and red in the back, just like a normal average car. And it's blinking to trying to establish a connection to the controller, which I can't right now because it's turned off. So I have to turn on the transmitter here, and then there we go. And then to bind it and calibrate the gyros, you just move the throttle stick up and down once, and there you go. So it's ready to go. And then, as you can see here, here's the right stick. And as you'll see when I push forward on the right stick, it begins to drive. See, as you can, and then when you push back, it drives backwards. So you got complete RC car functionality in this thing. It's just probably the coolest feature in this thing besides the whole quadcopter thing. So just some quick sampling of the driving here. Does make a high-pitched noise when the motor is activated for the driving. You can hear it. Well, it's pretty cool. And then see if I can do a little bit of flying here. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, but I'll try to hover here. As soon as you input throttle, the motor for the driving goes off. See, I got a low hover going, and I'm only doing this one-handed. Not bad though. Very cool. And as soon as you turn off the throttle, the car mode gets reactivated. See? This thing is so freaking cool. My cat is already looking at it all strange, like, he's like, what is this? Of course, he does that to all my RC shenanigans. Let's see if I can drive towards him here. I don't want to activate the flying mode. He gets scared when it flies the most. Doesn't like the wind blowing on him. But he is curious when it drives, though. And then try to hover here. Ooh. There's a little bit of durability for you. And this thing is very durable too, despite all this new stuff that this thing has. And this thing can take a beating. Let's get a little bit closer here. Alright. There's some general basics. And then tomorrow when the skies are bright again, we'll fly it outside. The outside flight and drive of the Syma X9 Flycar. So I'm gonna check out and see how well it runs on the ground and in the air. So we're gonna turn this thing on and turn on the transmitter, and then put the throttle stick up and down so it calibrates the gyros and stuff. And then as soon as we get the right stick moving, it should begin to drive. So here we go. Not too bad for driving. It's on low rates now. And the rates do affect the driving as well as the flying, so turn it on high rates now. Begins to really scoot. So, and its driving capabilities, it's alright. But the steering is, it is proportional, but not very well with the stock transmitter. It does seem like it's non-proportional, but a lot of people say that it is, so I'll just say that it is proportional steering. I do like the suspension on it though, so if you hit a lot of bumps, it will kind of go over those bumps. So now I'm gonna drive straight into the wind and turn on the quadcopter mode. And as soon as you take off, the motors for the driving turn off, and now it's in quad mode. It's kind of breezy. It's having some trouble fighting the wind because of its weight, or all the mechanics inside it. But very stable. Still flies very nice despite being a all-in-one car and quadcopter. Gorgeous day today. See, I always keep giving it some forward pitch to fight the breeze here. Let's see if I can do some flips here. You know, it's kind of dangerous right now with the wind and the pavement, but here we go. Nope. Gonna do one yet. Alright, wait. There we go. There's a flip. Get a close-up shot. Not bad at all. This thing's very smooth. Alright. Go up high again, do some more flips. Not bad. The flips are tight, but it does lose a lot of altitude. So make sure you gun it when it goes back and stabilize. Alright, do a little bit of buzzing around here. Whoa, it's getting too close to that fence. Alright, I'm going to put it back on the ground. As soon as you turn off the motors, the driving mode is reactivated. So cool. Especially when you get a gust of wind, you just bring it back on the ground, drive for a few seconds, then when the wind dies down, just take off again. Like that. Alright. Try to do a funnel with it. Not bad. It's not the best funnel. And then do some normal quadcopter buzzing around here. Alright, now we're gonna try and fly this towards the main part of the field here. Now I can really roam free. Very nice. Do some more flips. Uh-oh. Got a little bit low there. I really like the paint job too. It really stands out a little bit. And the yellow blades do ease out orientation. Alright, now I'm going to see how well the driving mode does with this rough terrain on this baseball diamond. It does alright, does bounce around a lot, doesn't go as fast. But it's going. Very cool. Suspension does help out a lot. See the wheels getting dirty. And then do a rolling takeoff. Here we go. Alright, do a couple of flybys here. And probably call this flight review to a close. The wind is trying to take it away again. But it's fighting it. Wish there was just a little bit more pitch to fight the wind. The yaw rate, I'll show you real quick. Yeah, it's okay. As you saw, the wind was drifting it. So I had to do like a funnel to try to keep it stable in the wind. Picked this thing up at Amazon for between $40 to $50. Other websites probably have it around that same price range. It's best to get the ones that say it includes an extra battery because it'll be worth it in the long run, so you don't have to worry about only having one battery and then it dies and you have to wait an hour for it to charge with the USB charger, and you'll be kind of annoyed that you had to sit for hours on end to charge it. Alright, there's the LVC warning telling me that the battery's gonna die, so let's bring it in. Alright guys, there it is. with one of the coolest flying machines I have seen to date, the Syma X9 Flycar. Please stay tuned for more content. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.